there anyone with actual audio?
Hi, William.
Hi, Regis. Thank you.
Okay, all right. You seem very lonely.
I am an awful lot, and people work really hard to keep me that way.
Got Kathy to laugh there. Kathy's a commissioner.
Of
Hi.
Yeah, reapportionment commissioner.
reapportionment commission.
Yes, yeah. That's you're going to hear a little bit about it tonight.
Are you concise and articulate? That's the primary thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, the next best thing is open with a motion to adjourn.
Now you're pushing it, William. Oops. Oh, we got the. Well,
We cannot hear you out here in Zoom land.
Councilman Kitchen.
Not by Zoom.
Yep, I'm waiting.
Here,
for
here, can you hear me?
Yes. Councilman Morrow,
Here.
Councilman Secreto,
Here.
Councilman Van Cleek.
Here.
Supervisor Quigley is excused.
We have a quorum. Any additions or changes to the agenda?
None here.
Member of the public would like to comment on any agenda items. Chair recognizes Laura Hartman.
Hi, thank you. Good evening. I saw on the agenda that there is an item about approving money for a website redo, which I think is a really, really great idea. And I'm wondering if any public will accept any input from the community on what we'd like to see in the website. I spend a lot of time on that website and certainly have some suggestions. So I'm just wondering if suggestions will be accepted.
Absolutely. We would love to hear what the public would like to see in our website because we're here to serve the public. And suggestions from you, I would suggest you send them into the clerk and we can evaluate them.
Okay, thanks very much. I think it's a really great thing to do. So thank you all for taking that on.
Thank you. Anyone else on any agenda items? Moving on to communications.
Am I muted? I have one letter to read. Sorry, let me open the envelope. It was handwritten, delivered to our Dropbox in front of the town hall, received April 29th, 2021. Dear Ulster Supervisor and the town board, Robert Post Park is a jewel in Ulster County. This park is very well maintained. The grounds, restrooms, and pavilions are always very well kept. Randy Sowers does an exceptional job. He is also very kind, personable, and helpful. I thoroughly enjoy this park and the view of the river, but Randy makes the park even more enjoyable. He does his job very well. Kyle Mellick also does a great job maintaining the grounds, restrooms, etc. I hope the town of Ulster will keep these two wonderful employees at the park. It is because of their quality of work and service that attracts many to this park. Town of Ulster is very fortunate to have these two hardworking men as employees. Many thanks, M. Sergio from Chambers Drive. That's all I have for communications.
Thank you. Budget modifications and transfers for 12/31/20. Councilman Van Cleek advises there are none. That's your report. So,
Yeah, there's nothing to be transferred.
So it's 2 minutes before the time of the public hearing at 7:10, so we'll just catch a couple of these quick first items here and go back to the public hearing. New business, we have the presentation and acceptance of the December 31st monthly supervisors report.
So moved.
Yeah, second,
Hearing none,
Councilman Kitchen seconds the motion.
pardon me?
I second the motion.
Okay, so that's, we have the first and second and no discussion. All in favor, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Kitchen,
Yes.
Councilman Morrow,
Yes.
Councilman Secreto,
Yes.
Councilman Van Cleek,
Yes.
and Supervisor Quigley is excused.
I have to back up. I'm sorry. I missed. There is a budget. modification. It was the page I missed in the document.
Okay, no problem.
Should we go back to that?
Let's just back up to that and we'll
Okay,
do that.
I apologize. Here's a budget modification for back in December. The highway department, it's for 371, I'm gonna enlarge my screen there. 371, 868, modify D 5130.200, equipment to be funded through D 5990. Appropriate fund balance for equipment expense. Additionally, there's the Halcyon Park Water District SW2 fund, modify appropriations SW2.8230.453. Redevelop wells to be funded through SW2.5590, appropriated fund balance for redeveloped wells expense.
I'll make a motion to accept the modification.
Then there's an attachment also. I apologize because my screen is sideways. Two attachments on page 2 on your documents would be pages 3 and pages 2. I want to give you the total. Total was $831,927. And I apologize. I thought this was being dealt with in the next meeting. So I make a motion.
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion on the report? Hearing none, all in favor, roll call, please.
Councilman Kitchen,
Yes.
Councilman Morrow,
Yes.
Councilman Secreto, Councilman Van Cleek,
Yes, thank you.
Supervisor Quigley is excused.
Motion passes. Seeing that it's now 7:13, I'd like to commence with our 7:10 public hearing on the Katrine Lane Sewer District Extension being added to the Ulster Sewer District. Would you like to say some words on that?
Thank you, Morrow, members of the board. What's in front of you and the public tonight is the establishment of the Katrine Lane Sewer District Extension of the Ulster Sewer District. In 2019, through the hard work of the town board in getting the grant and the sewer department and the highway department in doing almost all of the installation work in-house, except for the crossing of the CSX Railroad that was done with a private, too big contract by Wars Construction. Sewer service through a low-pressure system was installed with no debt at all through grant funding. The areas that are eligible for service now are 53 parcels that are outlined on the map in front of you, that I believe is also on the town website. Those 53 parcels have a total assessed value of a little over $15 million, 23 single-family homes, 7 vacant lots, 11 manufactured homes, an apartment complex, a small mobile home park, and the balance mix of commercial and storage uses. The largest assessment there is the Central Hudson former Myron Home Center piece. One of the reasons this establishment was delayed is Central Hudson had requested to be included with their new project, which is north of the existing Myron Home Center behind Red Alone there, which is a major project that I believe will be some site construction has commenced. Because there's no debt associated with this, usually all this discussion occurs before the construction is done, but since you got a grant and you had to spend the money quickly, the infrastructure went in. And there were also pump stations purchased for every property in that district boundary. Every property has to pump into the system. People that want to connect would contact Sewer Superintendent Vince Majority, who's here tonight, and arrange for that procedure to take place. That would be at their property owner's expense. The proposed tax rate essentially is the tax rate of the Ulster Sewer District, which is $1.55 per 1,000 of assessed value. And the use rate for this district is proposed to be the use rate of the Ulster Sewer District, which is $2.42 per 1,000 gallons. Those are very low rates compared to other sewer districts throughout the area, many of which I worked with for as well. So this was, I think, a good opportunity to extend a vital service to an area of the town that needed it. My report, the 6-page report, which is in front of you in the description, a legal description of the sewer district boundary, is attached to that report as well. Requires it that we project the cost for the typical single-family home in the district. And that cost for a home assessed for $210,000, which is a little higher than the average out there, at $1.55 per thousand would be $325 a year special district tax. Some will be a little higher than that, some will be lower than that, obviously, but that's for single-family homes. And the average single-family home usage would amount to a quarterly use bill of approximately $36.50. And that's based on your typical homeowner usage at the $2.50 per 1,000 gallon rate. So the total annual cost for your typical single family home in that area would be $471.50. Like I said, some will be lower, most will be lower than that, some will be higher, and a lot of it depends on how much you use. If the property owner chooses not to connect immediately, for personal reasons or financial reasons or whatever, they would still be assessed, everyone in this boundary would be assessed this special district tax. But they would not pay a use fee. They would not be charged a use fee because they're not using the system, but they are paying for the opportunity. Now, normally I would say in most cases when districts are extended, there's money that goes back to the parent district for all that infrastructure that the parent district paid for starting in the 1970s. We probably have $50 million sewer system in the Ulster Sewer District between the plant and collection system. That's not being done in this case because one, it was deemed a low to moderate income area, and the grant, was kind of stipulated to keep the cost to the bare minimum because it was a low to moderate income project. Having said that, it's still a win for the Ulster Sewer District because they're getting an increase in taxable assessment of about $15 million. So if they have a new partner to pay for any future work at the plant, pay off any existing debt. So, and that assessed value out there will grow as the big Central Hudson project is
Okay,
grows.
just one second. Just for the record, would you please identify yourself and then introduce yourself? Because 100 years from now, when we go back and watch this, we want to know who you were.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm Dennis Larios from Bernier Larios PC. Privileged to be the engineer and consultant for water and sewer districts. And privileged to have been able to design and work with the town on the implementation of this project.
We want to thank you for the great job you did once again.
Thanks. It was a team effort and a lot of heavy lifting by the town folks to get this done.
And it works.
And it works. And it does open up some opportunities too for adaptive reuse and better use of some parcels out there, and retirement of old septic systems, some of which we're working and some of which probably aren't.
Thank you for the great lead into our public hearing. Can I ask for a motion to open the public hearing?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of opening the public hearing, say aye.
Aye.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Kitchen,
Yes.
Councilman Morrow,
Yes.
Councilman Secreto,
Yes.
Councilman Van Cleek,
Yes.
Supervisor Quigley is excused.
The public hearing is now hereby open. Are there any members of the public or anybody that would like to say anything or make some comments about this? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Councilman Kitchen,
Yes.
Councilman Morrow,
Yes.
Councilman Secreto,
Yes.
Councilman Van Cleek,
Yes.
Supervisor Quigley is excused.
Okay, for the purposes of this meeting, even though we've closed the public hearing, we will still be accepting written comments for the next 2 weeks after this. And you can send them into the town clerk and they'll become part of the record. Okay, and on with our meeting. Next, we have the presentation of the Ulster County Commission of Reapportionment by Regis Obrzeski and Kathleen Waite. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Yes, you did, John.
Okay, who would like to start?
Well, I just thank you and just formally, I'm from Ledge Road in the town of Ulster. Yeah.
I'm Kathleen Waite. I'm from Saugerties, town of Ulster. We want to thank you this evening for inviting the members of the Reapportionment Committee to your meeting. Our purpose tonight is mainly to receive input from you. Can you hear me? Can everyone hear me? Oh, okay. To receive input from you and also to raise awareness of the work that the commission will be doing, and to summarize a few redistricting rules imposed by law. There are 7 of us, 7 commissioners, and we were selected for our willingness to serve and our ability to be fair and work in a consensus-driven process. We haven't received the consensus yet. I believe it should be delivered to us approximately September of this year. The county will retain the 23 districts it already has, but the boundaries could look a little different based on the distribution of the population since the last census. And as I said before, it hasn't been delivered. The tallies haven't been delivered yet for 2020 census.
Right. Yeah. Thanks, Kathy. We'll go over a couple of the rules, and I know a lot of this is you only hear this every 10 years, kind of like the cicadas showing up, and we're we're ready to go to work here. One of the rules is equal population, and at the last census back in 2010, the census was about 182,000 people in Ulster County. And you just do a little long division, divide that by 23 districts, and you come out with what generally a district should look like in terms of numbers. And it's about 7,900. So we could have more, we could have less, as Kathy said. Our town could have more, could have less. It's very, very difficult to tell until we have the numbers that are in. We know that New York State lost in the reapportionment process a seat by 89 people, which is too bad, but it was somewhat expected. Again, we don't know what it's going to look like for Ulster County, particularly all the municipalities within the county. People move out of the county, people move within the county, and so it all different. And because let's say the numbers are exactly what they were, 182,000, and so 7,900 people per district. Would that mean that the town of Ulster gets to have its own district? And the answer to that would be no, because we're over 12,000 people, 12,200, 300, 400, whatever it happens to be. But it's in that area. So that's a number that basically means we're going to be doing some sharing. It would be nice if we would have our own district, but it doesn't look like that. It's not going to be what it's going to look like. Kathy?
Another rule we have to follow is no gerrymandering. Regis, do you want to explain that?
Yeah, well, gerrymandering is basically where you the elected officials get to choose their voters rather than the other way around, and that there is no gerrymandering in this county, and it cannot favor any one political party. It cannot exclude people with political interests. So we cannot do any drawing, any redistricting that has that aim. So there is no gerrymandering. Another quick rule is contiguity. Basically, it means that when the lines are drawn, and by the way, the lines are not going to be just with pencil and counting heads by hand. It's all going to be done with software package, and the county as well as the commissioners are looking into a software package that would accommodate, and a fairly easy way to go about doing this. But contiguity basically means that you can't do patchwork and you can't do squiggles and slithers to make the numbers work. It basically means that a district has to be whole and entire. If you travel the district, you cannot cross any other district lines. So you have to be able to travel in a straight line. So that makes it a little bit harder, and to a certain extent a little bit weirder when doing this exercise. Okay.
We also want to direct you to, we do have a website. I checked it this evening. It's not complete yet. However, you can go to legislator.ulstercounty.ny.gov to check on our progress. I believe it just has a bio, and it also has the minutes are up from January for our meetings when we met.
Yeah, so it's under construction, but we want everybody in the county to who are interested to take a look at the Reapportionment Commission to see what we're up to. And the commissioners had designed a web page that has the following information: a citizen guide. We're going to also publish the the county charter, or at least that portion of the county charter, which really speaks to the rules of reapportionment and redistricting. We're going to have an FAQ page about 10 frequently asked questions. That we formed a separate subcommittee, a communication subcommittee, in which Kathy and Donna Lutz and myself were on to do this project. We're going to have contact, and Kathy will tell you about what will be the simplest contact for the commission. The list of commissioners, who they are, where they're from, but maybe about 3 or 4 sentences on each, not much more than that. We'll have the 2020 census data listed there. We'll have, as Kathy noted, the agenda and meeting minutes. So all the meetings that we have are all public. Useful links to better understand what redistricting and reapportionment is. And then when it's time, we'll do a draft plan of what this could look like. We'll put it out there, and we'll have a couple of public hearings so that anybody can comment on that. And there will be a place for public input, and then the final plan. So all this is going to take, it's not going to get done for another year. So not until let's see, by the end of May of 2022, we have to have a draft plan in place. So it's really gonna take a while. We're not really gonna get started on the drawing and redistricting probably until late September, maybe even October, whenever we get it. We don't know yet. It's been a very, very peculiar census year last year because of the pandemic, and it's been that way all over the country. So everything is running late. And we'll be at the job until 2020, 23, until election day 23. And the plan that we create with input from everybody that wishes to give input will be submitted by this commission to the County Board of Elections, and that's final. Nobody gets to review it. Once it's done, it's done. Not the legislature. I should say not even legislation, not the legislature, not anybody. So it's going to be an interesting and long and fascinating process for all of us.
And the best way to contact us is through our email. It's reapportionment@co.ulster.us.
Right. So if anyone has any questions,
Any input, we can take some notes. Sorry, Regis.
No. If somebody has an opinion about this stuff, our Supervisor Quigley has given me some views on this. Brian Cahill has written to the commission and stated some of his opinions. So it's already out there. Some of this is already out in the open. So if anyone has anything to say, to add, to ask, that'd be fine. We can do it now. Yes, Eric.
Good evening, Regis, and how are you this evening? And it's a pleasure to meet you, Kathy.
Nice
Thank
to
you
meet
for coming this evening.
Thank you.
Regis, you touched on a couple of subjects. One was my question is this. How much influence will the current county legislature have? And I believe you said that this will be decided by your independent board of 7 members.
Correct.
And will this be voted on by the county legislature when you complete your report?
No, it won't.
Right. Could you also tell me what the makeup is, the party affiliation of the 7-member board?
Yeah, this is all in the county charter, but there's a method. There are 4 of the 7. There are 4 commissioners that are selected, 2 by the majority leader and 2 by the minority leader. Okay, so you got the mix of parties that way, and then those 4 choose the other three. And they choose the other three based on their own judgment, not on party affiliation. And so Kathy, you were one of the last three, right? I
That's
was.
correct. Right.
And probably Donna Lutz, right?
Donna Lutz, correct.
Right. So we were chose by our colleagues, by the people that we're working with. And so it's the party affiliations are everything.
You also touched on the fact that you cannot cross another district to get to another district. Is that correct?
Yeah, and that's funny. I mean,
Because our town is very split up.
it is.
You have to go through Kingston to get to Eddyville. You have to go through Kingston to get to Hillside Acres, which is District 13 up there.
Yeah.
Could you please clarify that for me?
Well, that would be a district in itself. The parts that you can't get to except by, let's say, going through Kingston, right?
Right.
That would have to be whole and entire to itself. The other part of the town, because it has this weird serpentine shape. Let's say the end of it going towards Saugerties, and the town of Kingston, and Saugerties would be its other shape. So it would be contiguous. Both sides would be contiguous.
Okay, so the current makeup of District 4, which includes part of Lake Katrine out here by the town hall,
Right.
and also includes, I believe, Hillside Acres at the current time. Is that correct?
Yes, I think it does.
And so what you're proposing is that would eliminate the current makeup of what it is?
No, it wouldn't eliminate the current makeup. What I'm saying is, when you travel in any district, you have to be able to get through this district, whatever the shape is, okay, of, let's say, our town, the town of Ulster, without crossing another boundary. And I'm not talking about a shortcut, just saying, that the town of Ulster is rather peculiarly shaped.
Correct.
But no, it wouldn't eliminate or change that in any way.
My next question is, I and the public might not be aware of this, but I do understand there is a push to consolidate the whole town of Ulster into one district. And you said that you have taken comments from other political elected officials. How much does that weigh in on your decision and your final decision on what you made?
Well, it would be, everything that would be proposed would be a consideration. It would not be weighted in any way. And as long as we don't violate the rules, these rules are not just made up this past year. These are determined by Supreme Court rulings. So that point of contiguity and equality, those are like two of the main rules that really have bearing on Supreme Court rulings. And so it's by population. And as I said before, we have like 12,000 plus, right, in our town. And so the county did not grow that much, probably, so that the whole town of Ulster could be its own. It would be nice, but the whole town of Ulster could not be.
I was in office 10 years ago and I saw the last reapportionment. My next question is, so the legislature ultimately will not be voting on this.
No, they won't.
How will this be adopted? By the 7 of you
Yes.
and be signed off on the commissioners? Am I correct in saying?
Yes, the seven commissioners by consensus. Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Regis, and
You're
thank you,
welcome.
Kathy.
Sure.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your efforts and your time that you are putting your personal time into this. I really thank you both. Thank you.
Thank
You're
you, Eric, for saying that.
Thank you.
Kathy, could you repeat your email address for everybody?
The reapportionment.
Oh,
Email address?
okay. It's a reapportionment, co.ulster.ny.us.
Thank you very much. And I'd like to thank you and your team for the great work you're doing, all the time you're taking out of your personal lives to do this. I know it's a very, very difficult and challenging endeavor. Once again, thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
See you, Kathy. I'm going to hang around.
Okay, bye-bye.
Next item is a motion to authorize the supervisor to sign the modification, the operation and maintenance agreement. for
One
the
second.
River Access to the Charles River.
Mr. Deputy,
Did we say something?
Eric's asking for, and Eric said, wait a minute.
do we have to pass a motion to close the public hearing, even though you're keeping it open for 2 weeks?
It was done already.
We did that.
All right.
but
I
thank-
didn't know we voted to close it. All right.
Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Anyway, motion for the supervisor to sign the modification to the operation and maintenance agreement for the Hudson River Access Site at Charles Ryder Park, Town of Ulster, New York, with the New York State DEC. Have a motion?
Yeah, John, what this is a fee increase down to Ryder Park, going from $8 to $10, and the seasonal pass from 50 to 75, and we had to get the okay from the DEC to do that. Well, I'll make a motion to pass that.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion of the increase in fees?
Councilman Kitchen,
Yes.
Councilman Morrow,
Yes.
Councilman Secreto,
Yes.
Councilman Van Cleek,
Yes.
Supervisor Quigley is excused.
Passes. Next motion to authorize the supervisor to sign the storage tank internal coding evaluation agreement for Ulster Water District's departments, South Tower with KJ Consulting and Support Services in the amount of $3,600 lump sum.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion?
Councilman Kitchen,
Yes.
Councilman Morrow,
Yes.
Councilman Secreto,
Yes.
Councilman Van Cleek,
Yes.
Supervisor Quigley is excused.
Motion carried. Next item, motion to authorize the supervisor to sign the agreement between New York State Department of Civil Service Employee Benefits Division and the Town of Ulster concerning the confidentiality and security of information.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion?
Councilman Kitchen,
Yes.
Councilman Morrow,
Yes.
Councilman Secreto, Councilman Van Cleek,
Yes.
Supervisor Quigley is excused.
Motion carried. Next item, Superintendent Majority, would you like to say anything about the truck cab?
These two trucks that are on the agenda are to replace current vehicles. The F-750 will replace an International, a 1991 International truck. And the F-450 will replace a 2011 F-450.
Any other trucks will be sold at auction?
Yes.
May I ask a question?
Yes, you may.
Are these trucks going to be similar to the ones the highway department purchased where they can have versatile bodies, or are they fixed body trucks?
The F-750 will have a switch and go bed container system.
Okay.
And that's to match, that's to accommodate the change in the waste stream that the sewer department has to comply to due to changes at Ulster County RRA.
Do I have a motion to make the purchase?
I'll make it.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion on the motion?
Councilman Kitchen,
Yes.
Councilman Morrow,
Yes.
Councilman Secreto,
Yes.
Councilman Van Cleef,
Yes.
Supervisor Quigley is excused.
Chief, you're up. Would you like to say something about this new police car?
This is a budgeted item, supervisor, 2011 Ford Expedition. Time constraint for production, order it now, so these are advanced by the end of the year.
When do you think we'll be getting that, by the end of this year?
They're predicting possibly 6 months, build time and delivery. So obviously, if I put the order in May, should be getting it around November, but the upfit's done. I'll be hopefully getting it in service by 2021, if not beginning.
Thank you. So we need a motion to authorize the police chief to purchase one 2021 Dodge Durango Pursuit patrol vehicle under New York State contract PC number 690047 from Begnell Motors in the amount of $33,956.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion?
Councilman Kitchen,
Yes.
Councilman Morrow,
Yes.
Councilman Secreto,
Yes.
Councilman Van Cleef,
Yes.
Supervisor Quigley is excused.
Okay, we'll go over to personnel. Councilman Secreto.
This was a request from the Honorable Court judges for a hiree, clerk. Her name is Heather Foster. Department will be court, comes from the general fund, part-time, non-competitive, non-union. No health insurance involved. Her wage will be $13.50. Start date 5/10/2021. Request from Judge Kessick. She'll be working approximately 20 hours a week, and I ask for a motion to hire her.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Councilman Kitchen. Any discussion?
Councilman Kitchen,
Yes.
Councilman Morrow,
Yes.
Councilman Secreto,
Yes.
Councilman Van Cleef,
Yes.
Supervisor Quigley is excused.
All in favor? My phone rang.
We got some more hires coming
Can't
up here,
multitask,
too.
yeah. Next, the seasonal park attendants.
I have 2 seasonal park attendants for Post Park. His name is Thomas Harvey, Department of Parks and Recreation, General Fund. Be seasonal, non-competitive. Union position is no. No insurance coverage. The wage would be $13 an hour. Start date was 5/01/2021. And he'll be working approximately 20 hours a week. They asked for a motion to hire Thomas Harvey.
We also have another one, don't we?
Yes, I do. We'll do them separate.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second by Councilman Kitchen.
Councilman Kitchen,
Yes.
Councilman Morrow,
Yes.
Councilman Secreto,
Yes.
Councilman Van Cleef,
Yes.
Supervisor Quigley is excused.
Hiree, his name is Ryan Coffey, seasonal park. Comes from the Parks and Rec Department, General Fund, seasonal, non-competitive, non-union, no insurance coverage. Wage is also $13 an hour. The same start date is 5/01/2021. And he also will be 20 hours a week. Yes, hire Ryan Coffey.
So moved.
Second.
Councilman
Any
Kitchen,
discussion?
sorry,
Yes.
Councilman Morrow,
Yes.
Councilman Secreto,
Yes.
Councilman Van Cleef,
Yes.
Supervisor Quigley is excused.
I have one more hiree. This comes from Water Department. The employee's name would be Christopher Ibbotson. Seasonal labor, Department of Water, comes out of the Water Fund. Seasonal, non-competitive, non-union, no insurance. Wage is $13 an hour. His start date will be 6/21/2021. That's a request from John Rose. He'll be working approximately 40 hours a week. Motion to hire Christopher Ibbotson.
So moved.
Second,
Any discussion?
None.
Councilman Kitchen,
yes.
Councilman Morrow,
Yes.
Councilman Secreto,
Yes.
Councilman Van Cleek.
Yes.
Supervisor Quigley is excused.
So carried. Next item is a motion to authorize the supervisor to close 3 bank accounts at Bank of Greene County and dispose of all unused checks.
I'll make the motion.
So moved,
Any discussion?
Councilman
All in favor?
Councilman Kitchen,
yes.
Councilman Morrow,
Yes.
Councilman Secreto,
Yes.
Councilman Van Cleek,
Yes.
Supervisor Quigley excused.
Thank you. It's so carried. Next item requires no action on our part. It's just a presentation of the annual update document filed with New York State Controller's Office for the town's financial results for the year ending December 31st, 2020, to be accepted at the next meeting. We're just presenting that report. Next item is, again, no action required, presentation of the 2020 fund balance review in accordance with the fund balance policy adopted by the town board.
All pages.
Next item is a resolution authorizing the town clerk to enter into a contract for the development of a new town website with net profit in the amount not to exceed $4,200.
Make the motion.
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion on the motion?
No, but I will add that I've dealt with net profit in the past. And I feel very comfortable moving ahead with them.
And we will make note that Laura Hartman had expressed an interest to be involved, so
Make some
we always appreciate that
suggestions.
involvement.
If I could just say that I thank the town board and Councilman Van Cleek for your assistance. And Laura, it's a great suggestion. I was going to reach out to residents anyway, so I will be in contact with you because I get daily, almost phone calls. Where's this? Where's that? So I would definitely need the help of the public to go forward with the website. Thank you. Okay, so the motion, Councilman Kitchen,
Yes.
Councilman Morrow,
Yes.
Councilman Secreto, Councilman Van Cleek,
Yes.
Supervisor Quigley is excused.
Old business. Discussion on summer camp registration.
Summer camp registration is going on right now. The next 2 weeks and the first couple weeks of June will be the busy time. Suzanne has put it on the website, on her town Facebook page too, the clerk's Facebook page, that we will take payment plans with money up front, $275 up front, and we will take payment plans to fill up the remainder of that balance. So anyone out there that wants to sign up for camp, they can do it that way.
How many people do we have signed up today?
Now, probably about 10.
We have 11. Yeah.
11.
Mhm.
Normally, it's like the last couple weeks of May, first couple weeks of June, you'll get an influx of people signing up.
And what are we gonna look at for minimums?
Well, we had talked with the rec, Laura and Susie, they're on the rec committee. If we got 50, we could hold a camp with 50 kids. Kingston does that.
So right now, we only have 11 people signed up and break even is 50.
I don't think break even, yeah, 50, we're gonna break even no matter what we do, because you won't have to hire that many counselors with 50 kids. It'll pay for itself. Camp should pay for itself, just like softball does, basketball does.
Yeah, but if we only have 11 people signed up.
Well, then we won't have camp then.
Right.
If we don't make it to the 50,
Which I think is what Councilman Van Cleek was going with his comment is, what number do we want to pick that if we have less than that, we cancel, if we have more than that, we go?
well, that's the 50 number. We had talked about that myself, at least.
Would you like to make a motion to that if we have less than 50, we cancel?
Well, right around 50, yeah. Yeah. I mean, we got 49, you can still hold camp. Saying 50,
Can we delay the motion on that,
Yeah,
on that?
I mean,
When,
that's not good.
we don't have to do any hiring, we can go 2 more weeks to our next
Yeah.
meeting. If it's okay to table that, I recommend we table whatever that would be. And
We don't have a motion yet.
Yeah, so, but I mean, so let's just plan
It's
to
just
talk
a
about it.
discussion right
No,
now.
I would put it up as an option, because, the math seems to work, and we want to just double check our numbers, and we don't have to make any commitments yet.
All right, so let's look at this in 2 weeks and see where we've gone with it.
Like I said, the last couple of weeks of May, first couple of weeks of June.
You got my email about those numbers, like typical average signups, and I just used 2019 as an example. April, we had 11 signups, and May and June, May we had 32, June we had 167. So more people may come forward.
I think with the payment plan, you're gonna get more signups now.
Okay. Next is a motion to authorize the purchase of a gym package for Jeanette Lane Mini Park in the amount of $7,000.
I'd like to make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion on the motion?
Yeah, this is a playground that purchased from Brad's Barnes. He had it sitting on the lot for approximately $11,000 to $12,000. Myself and James Quigley, the supervisor, got him down to $7,000. It'll fit that park perfectly. Not a big area up there. This playground will fit nice up there. And we're going around each park, like we discussed before, upgrading some equipment and playground equipment. Halcyon Park is next, with the help from the highway superintendent back there. Need a 30 by 30 foot cutout for it.
So it was 11,000 and you got them down to 7. I'm gonna have to send you and Quigley over to Begnell's.
Yeah. They get the cars done. I'll make a motion. Do that.
We did make a motion in seconds. I just want to mention, I've had 3 positive comments about the work that's been done at Halcyon Park already.
All right. Councilman Kitchen.
I'd like to have discussion first. We didn't have discussion.
We're having a discussion. Go ahead, you're up.
Councilman Secreto, the question is directed towards Councilman Secreto. Could you please tell me the material that this playground is going to be made out of, sir?
It's treated lumber covered with a hard vinyl plastic.
Is this the same, what you proposed a couple months ago for the Halcyon Park and the Jeanette Lane? I
Yes.
believe that was a different style.
No, the same stuff.
Is that the same stuff? Okay. I know we had problems in the past with pressure treated wood and rotting wood. I just want to make sure that we have something durable for that price.
Well, in the past, that wood splintered. This is covered with a hard vinyl.
Okay,
If you'd like to see it, it's sitting up at Brad's Barn
I'll make a motion.
on the 8th.
Yeah, we have a
Any
motion.
further discussion by anybody? Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Kitchen.
Yes,
Councilman Morrow.
Yes.
Councilman Secreto.
Yes.
Councilman Van Cleef.
Yep.
Supervisor Quigley is excused.
Next, I'd like a motion to schedule a public hearing for local law blank of 2021, a local law repealing local law of 1999, taxi cab local law of the town of Ulster for Thursday, June 3rd at 7:10 PM.
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
Any discussion on the motion?
I'm glad to be part of a group that is eliminating.
Councilman Kitchen,
Yes.
Councilman Morrow,
Yes.
Councilman Secreto,
Yes.
Councilman Van Cleave,
Yes,
Supervisor Quigley is excused.
So the public hearing is set.
Yeah.
I'd like to open the floor to public comment on any items anybody would like to talk about. Regis.
This is a question for the Deputy Supervisor. John, at the Glenary meeting, which was the third or fourth Saturday in April, there was a statement made by Supervisor Quigley that he and other local supervisors were going to be meeting with the New York City DEP. This has to do with the release program of the turbid waters. And did that happen? And is there anything that came of that you know of?
I believe that it did happen. I was not at the meeting and I have not been briefed about what exactly occurred at that meeting. It was my understanding that the people at the DEP, they went pretty far up the food chain, and the people that were way up in the food chain at the DEP had not heard anything about the issues or problems in the Esopus. And this was the first time it was brought to their attention. So I think that it was a very fruitful meeting. But specifically, other than that, I can't really comment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was just wondering if they had any luck with that, but I guess the fact that that people in the high command up there or down there didn't know about some of these issues, that's a good thing that they do.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked, but I kind of had that feeling all along over the last number of years that the people up here really didn't know what was going on in the trenches.
Right. Okay, so nothing to report to citizens on how there were no results from the meeting.
if I could comment, one thing that I did hear came out of the meeting was that there was a strong presence sensed by the DEP because the local officials, then being our supervisor, the mayor of Kingston, adjoining towns, Saugerties and those involved came in united on that. And that did have, for what impact it's worth, it did have impact. So I think there was a respect given that the communities are coming together about.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you.
We just had another meeting, Laura, was it Monday or Tuesday? Saugerties?
You
I
mean the press conference?
think it was Tuesday, the press conference.
Press conference.
Yeah.
It was an excellent press conference with a lot of people up there that were being informed about what was going on, including the county executive and Senator Hinchy and so forth. The mayor was up there, and a lot of excellent speakers. Riverkeeper was there, and they disseminated a lot of information to people that they weren't aware. It was very effective too. So it's an ongoing process, and I think we're on the right track and moving ahead.
Great. Thank you, John.
If I might just add also, when I got home from that press conference, I turned on the TV and Spectrum came on, and there was already, Ben Nandy was there recording, and he had already submitted a piece and they were running it. So it's getting a lot of press, which is a really good thing.
Thank you. Any further public comment? Yes. Sorry. Clark? doing sign language here or what?
Clark, we can't hear you.
Clark, we can see you, but we can't hear you. Chief?
I just want to publicly thank the highway and sewer departments. Last week, they took on a project. The main line of the town hall sewer line goes through the police department and out the street to the sewer line. It's been an ongoing problem as long as I've been the chief of police, and with the phenomenal leadership of Frank and Vinny, they replaced the line in the trap area outside the town hall and the police department. It was a far with both of their departments. And I got to just personally thank them. Obviously, they all work well together. We continuously say it. But obviously, it was nothing that directly affected them. But they're willing to take on the project and assist them.
Whoever had the idea of using a vacuum truck when you were digging inside, that's a great idea. And I came downstairs the next day, it was so very little dirt, so. Great as somebody.
Phenomenal.
Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now, Clark.
Oh, sorry about that. Just the microphone thing. Yeah, I'd just like to, several things. I have one with the TV. I appreciate you guys being honestly about, not being able to fund public access. But I got to say, I remember I get to press conferences or whatever. And if I had a car, I'd be up there. But so my involvement with public access, generally speaking, that video that Riverkeeper did last night and vice versa, anything that has to do with the lower Esopus, I'm going to be foreign in that, and Esopus has been, I guess, one of the former supervisors is on that committee for the reporting of the lower Esopus mud coming through, and I would like to say I from the city of Kingston, they actually did a more or less a resolution in regards to that. So, and I don't know, Mr. Quigley, you guys are right next door. I mean, just like a jump away. And you guys had a really bad experience in the past from that. And I definitely support that. And whatever I could forward on to the TV, I will do it. And I would just like to say that I wanted to speak about the proposal that the Kia, which it's been reported by the Daily Freeman, Mr. Kimball is here, that there has been more sighting of an eagle nesting up in that area. So I was wondering, I know they're having some difficulties with the proposal down by Stewart's, that they're having some kind of like negotiations going on. But if the board could put like the brakes on until the DEC or whatever, or even because I guess they're looking to get a pilot for IDA. Because I'm not sure, even if they did a short environment form, I don't know if the board really should seek and make sure that they did all the requirements for that with the long-eared bats being there, and see if they can rectify. I know they're not a stink no more, but still, it's like you shouldn't be building like. I believe that Eagle is going to be on the same property where they want to take trees down. So I think the right thing to do is to give the Eagle time enough to move this stuff out of there, or vice versa, or maybe not build it at all. But I did a petition online, and I'm going to be hopefully get more signatures, And I will bring that back to the board so they could, Hart or Rome Kia could figure out another plan for that site on that. And then I wanted to thank you about the proposal of eliminating the taxi regulations. I think with the shared ride program in our county here, it's been difficult as being like sort of like trying to make a living as a cab driver, trying to really, you can't compete with them because they're not doing fingerprints. They're not paying any kind of fees to the towns or the cities. Not only we were paying $25 to town of Ulster, we were paying $25 for the city of Kingston. Luckily, the city of Kingston lowered it, and they're still asking for fingerprints. So as far as like being identified, I think the city of Kingston can help with that, where with Uber or Lyft, you don't need the fingerprints and you really can't, there's no regulation for them anyway. So for me, it's like, it would level the playing field for, as a cab driver, if I wasn't paying all the fees that they're not paying for, as far as the tax and regulation. So I thank you for that. And I appreciate that. And I will, I would encourage business owners to put more vehicles out there for as far as taxi, because Uber could be, it could be here today and gone tomorrow. The only thing with Uber is like the town and the city can't negotiate prices like you do with the taxis. Uber and Lyft it's a free for all. So one day your cab ride could be $10 and the next day it could be $50. So that's going to be an issue that the town is going to have to figure out in the future. So I thank you for your time, and I look forward to speaking to you again.
Make sure you come back to the public hearing on the taxi thing on June 3rd
Thank you.
and make your comments formal.
Okay.
Thank you. Laura, you had something you want to say?
I was just going to try to help Clark out because I was pretty sure he wanted to say something about the Eagle situation, which I'll just put my 2 cents in since, John, you asked me. I really hope we're going to do something to protect that nest over there. That eagle's become pretty famous on social media. And I do think that awarding a pilot for them without proper protections for that eagle would be a real miscarriage of justice, environmental justice. So thank you.
Well, just for the record, there are all kinds of state and federal regulations about disturbing a nesting eagle or site where eagles are nesting. And they won't be able to do anything under federal and state law with any of the trees associated with the eagle. They typically have 2 trees, one with the nest and another one at like a guard or a watch tree where they watch the nest with the other eagle. So it's a whole like little community they have set up there.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else have any comments? Going once, going twice.
Make a motion to close the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night.
Meeting's adjourned. Good night. Thank you for coming.